because it's pouring with rain here.
It's distracting, isn't it, Ben?
Okay.
All right, sorry, I muted everybody. We're going to go live here. Oh, we are live. Excellent. Good morning and welcome to the John Lavenia Success Mastermind Network. I am Stuart Wilde, and I am your humble host for today's general session. And I'm excited to be with you guys today. I'm grateful to have this platform to be able to chat with you guys and be able to share some thoughts and have some meaningful discussions about topics that are all important to us. Couple things. These last few weeks for me have been a winding down of my personal year. And I know Adrian's session last week really brought up a lot of things for me in terms of, the end of the year and things like that. I mean, for me, being, well, I should say, I want to make a shout out to my fellow Sagittarians, and excellent. And, again, to me, this time leading up to the end of my personal year is always a reflective and introspective time for me. And, when I think back on where I was this time last year, and, I would encourage everybody to take a little flashback and think about where you were, end of last November, because we still had not met yet. It was a few months before, most of us had gotten together on the daily success calls with John, things like that. Last November, I was really in a tough spot. I had just come out of a llama season, a trekking season, a guiding season for me that was very challenging physically, and as a result of an old spinal injury. By the end of last year, it became pretty clear to me that I was not going to be able to continue leading wilderness trips and guiding people in the wilderness, which is not only my passion, but my purpose, let's say. And this time last year was really the beginning of a dark night of the soul for me. I was grieving, I was mourning the loss of not only my career, but the self that I thought I was, let's say. I really felt lost and adrift, and disconnected from my purpose, let's say. Maybe some of you guys would, be able to relate to that. And things just got really challenging for me by the end of last year. And I want to say that, I'm grateful for my family, for my loving, supportive wife, Leah, and my wonderful, amazing stand-up young man son, Sasha, for helping me through tough times. God bless Leah, because not only did she hold me up, but she also kind of held down the fort, let's say, when I was physically unable to do such things. But last year was such a challenge for me, and by the time I had joined Blue Sky, I don't know, March, April, earlier this year, I was on a path of recovery. But I want to give thanks to our friend and mentor John Lavenia for seeing the best in us, for seeing the best in me, for reminding me and reminding us of our limitless potential. And I want to thank. I also want to thank John for providing a forum for all of us to get together and discuss meaningful topics about mindset and personal development, where we can all share and explore ideas. I want to thank you guys, this mindset community, for being here, for accepting me for who I am, for allowing me to rant and chat about things with you guys, for supporting the sessions that I do, whether it's the e-commerce or the mindset sessions or these general sessions. And so I'm grateful to all of you guys. And I think I'll say it again, I've said it before, but I really do believe that we are all cooperating and taking part in a mass personal transformation. And I can say unequivocally that I have seen every one of you grow exponentially over the last 6-8 months or whatever it is. And I feel that I've grown myself in many ways as well. So I just wanted to honor this space that we've created, and I wanted to give thanks for that. And that is a cool segue to today's topic, which is gratitude. And I know we've kind of been revisiting this topic on and on, over and over. But as you guys know, here in the States, on Thursday is Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is an interesting holiday because it's not about, a person or, a military victory or anything like that. Thanksgiving was always my favorite holiday as a young person. And then I learned about, let's say, the genocide of indigenous peoples and the oppression and the struggles of indigenous people here in the Western Hemisphere, and of course everywhere in the world. And so, there was a little bit of controversy about Thanksgiving, and I just really wanted to address this with you guys because I feel like, again, this is a safe space to bring up topics and chat about things. And so for me, I feel like I am able to, let's say, acknowledge and be compassionate and empathetic for, let's say, the struggles of oppressed people around the world. And I think that, can be a really intense discussion that we could get into, anytime. But also, as an idealist, I don't have a problem being able to separate that from, let's say, what I consider to be the ideal of this holiday, which to me is about cooperation and gratitude, right? And I'm just going to ask you guys to kind of join me on that ride as we go on this morning. So with that, I want to share my screen with you guys. I have a little presentation, and we'll go from there. So let's see. You guys with me? Give me a thumbers. Yeah. Okay. All right. So today's topic is gratitude and the law of attraction, or what I'm calling thanking is thinking. Okay. Quote from the Buddha: "You have no cause for anything but gratitude and joy." Good reminder for all of us. Here's a Napoleon Hill quote: "If you make your prayers an expression of gratitude and thanksgiving for the blessings you already have, instead of requests for things you do not have, you will obtain results much faster." Now, last night when we were reading Think and Grow Rich, we were really talking exactly about this, about making our prayers an expression of gratitude. So this quote really stuck with me. "Acknowledging the good that you already have is the foundation for all abundance," by our friend Eckhart Tolle. And I found this quote, and it really struck me deep. And maybe some of you guys will relate to this. "I am thankful for my struggle, because without it, I would not have stumbled upon my strength." Okay, so to me, this reminds me that it's easy to, or maybe it's easier to be grateful for what we consider to be the good things or the positive things, right? But I think it's equally as important, and maybe even more important, to be grateful for the challenges, be grateful for the obstacles, be grateful for the struggles, right? Because these are the things that temper our spirit. So as you know, I'm a big fan of words. And so of course I immediately went to a little etymology here. So the root of the word gratitude comes from the Latin gratus, which means pleasurable or thankful. Then you get gratia, which is grace and kindness. And then you get gratis, which is freely or for nothing, receiving something freely for nothing, right? So like a tip, you know, we say is gratis, or something that's free is gratis. And then from this, you get gratuitous, you get gratuity, you get gracias, you get grazie, and you get grace. Now check this, the actual root of this word comes from the Proto-Indo-European, or what we call the PIE. And, you know, I'm working on my Proto-European pronunciation, but let's say wer means to praise or to welcome or to connect to the divine. So that's what giving thanks is, right? That's pretty cool. That's what gratitude is. All right. And I want to pose to you guys that there's a difference to me between a statement of gratitude and a feeling of gratitude, right? Even before, when I was like, I'm grateful for this, I'm grateful for that. I think there's a trap where we can just get caught in this cerebral understanding of gratitude, where it just becomes this, you know, laundry list of things that we feel like we can say that we're grateful for, right? I'm grateful for this, I'm grateful for that. And the trap is to really just be stuck in your head with all that, right? And so I want to suggest that that's a statement of gratitude versus a feeling of gratitude, which comes from your heart, right? This is a feeling and being in a state of gratitude. And when I feel grateful, almost immediately, it brings a smile to my face. I feel it in my heart. I feel like a warm glow of liquid gold go through my body, right? And so I want to pose to you guys, what does gratitude feel like? And I know, I'm imagining that you guys that were on the meditation this morning with Nicola probably did a gratitude meditation, or you have been doing these things. So I just want to pose to you guys, maybe at the end you can share what gratitude feels like to you. I actually was going to do like a 30-second little gratitude thing, but I don't want to leave like so much dead air space on the call. So let's talk about that later. But I really do, I want to hear what gratitude feels like to you guys. Okay, so gratitude and the law of attraction, okay, or what I'm calling thank and grow rich, okay? So when I think about gratitude, I think about being in a state of grace, right? And we know that grace is related, right? It comes from this place of thankfulness. We just did the etymology of it. So to me, being in a state of grace is being in a state of gratefulness, of thankfulness, of pure receptivity, of receiving, right? And so this is this concept of when we are grateful for what we have, then we open the door for other things to be grateful for, right? And so that place of receptivity, to me, opens doors, creates opportunities. It attracts people, experiences, events, and circumstances into our lives that we call the bridge of incidents, that set unseen forces in motion that help us to achieve our goals, to manifest our desires, our wish fulfilled. And to me, you know, thinking about gratitude is a state of having, right? It's not a place of wanting anything, right? It's this feeling of having everything, right? And so to me, feeling gratitude is almost this a sense of wholeness, of oneness, of completeness, that you already have everything that you want, right? And to me, that's being in a true state of grace and a state of gratitude. And as we talked about last night on the book study call with John, gratitude implies that you already have what you desire, that you're already in possession of that which you desire. And as Goddard says, that your wish is already fulfilled. So gratitude is an interesting state to me, because it is this state of having. So I looked up some benefits of gratitude, and I thought you guys would be interested in this. It's kind of cool. Gratitude actually improves our physical and psychological health. It increases dopamine, serotonin and oxytocin production, which is associated with a positive attitude, and it fights depression, right? So we all know that when we're grateful and we feel thankful about things in our lives, that it helps us with our mindset, right? It helps us have a more positive attitude. It boosts our self-esteem. It enhances empathy and compassion for others. Lowers aggression, right? After you, are in a state of gratitude, the last thing you want to do is get aggro on anybody. You feel like you're in a place of forgiveness and love, right? And acceptance. Gratitude improves our sleep. These are all things that are scientifically proven. It's pretty cool. Gratitude improves our mental strength and our fortitude. And I saw these two studies from early part of the turn of the millennium. So there was a 2003 study that was done that showed that survivors of 9/11 and first responders and people that had trauma as a result of 9/11, the people that were in a state of gratitude were much more resilient and were able to overcome their trauma much quicker. And then there was another study in 2006 of Vietnam vets that showed that vets that had a higher level of gratitude had a much lower incidence of post-traumatic stress disorder. So gratitude is good for us, right? Gratitude is good for us. So, the next thing I looked up was thank you, right? Because when we think of, Thanksgiving, right, the word thanks. So check this out, you guys. So where gratus, comes from the Latin, right? Thank you comes from the Old Norse and Proto-Germanic. So tankon and tankoyan is the Proto-Germanic, which comes from the word, the root tankos, which means gratitude in Proto-Germanic. But check this out. Wait for it. Ready? The root of thank comes from the Proto-Indo-European root tunj, which means to think. Check it out. The Latin root tungere means to think. So guess what? To thank is to think, right? And if thoughts are things, thanks are things. And so I want to take this time to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving, okay? And before I sign off, you guys, look at that. I just rolled right through that. That's like a record session for me. Before I sign off, first I'm going to stop the share here, you guys. I took a little time to look up thank you in as many different languages as I could think of in relation to our members here. Because really another one of these amazing things is that we are an international community, right? And so while we all speak English here, I imagine that many people on this call speak more than one language, and maybe English isn't even your first language, right? And so I just thought it was cool to roll through this and have a heart of gratitude as I read through these things, and then I'll open the floor and we can chat a little bit. And I'm not even going to say the language. I'm just going to roll down thank you. And those of you that speak different languages, hopefully you'll catch the ones that are in the languages that you know. And please, if I miss anything, or if anybody speaks other languages than the ones that I pull out here, please share at the end and tell us how to say thank you in another language, because I just think it's pretty cool. So here we go. Danke, danku, tak, gracias, grazie, merci, obrigado, gurumagut, taplat, diolch, efharisto, webale, jerujef, ose, dalu, toda, shukran, diakuya, spasiba, arigato, Shie Shie, Kamsahamnida, Kapkun, Salamat, Kia ora, Mahalo, Dhanyavada. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thanks for everything. I'm going to open the floor here and see if anybody wants to share, wants to chat, because we got time today to talk. So what's up? Who's feeling grateful? Who's feeling thankful? Who was turned on by some of the history of words? Oh, my friend Teroha. How are you, Coral? I saw your hand up. What's up?
Kei te pai, Stuart. When I heard kia ora, my heart jumped because I have great gratitude for my language, and I never appreciated it as a child. I thought that the white man's ways were the ways of the future, and my grandparents and my parents' ways were of no use to me. And it's not now that I'm older that I appreciate. It's a treasure that I have missed teaching my children. So it's something that I make sure that I'm teaching my grandchildren so that they don't forget we're on the other side of the world, but their roots are not from here. And so their gratitude runs deep, deep to another part of this earth. But thank you so much, Stuart. That was wonderful. This is what gratitude is, brother. This is gratitude.
Oh, that's what gratitude feels like, everybody. God bless you, Coral.
Amen.
Thank you. And yeah, and of course, I had to look up Maori and pronunciations, and I know there were even several versions, and I was really hoping that you would share, and so I'm glad that you were the first one today. So cheers to you. And our friend Ivier. How are you today, Ivier?
I'm good, thanks. Thanks, Stuart. Where do I start? I put in the chat while you were talking, you can't be grateful or be thankful if you don't think about the things you are grateful for, right? So you've got to know what it is you're grateful for. So it's either what you have or what you are or where you are or who you have, but you got to think about it. I mean, yes, we can say by default, and someone gives us something just because we've been brought up right in the manners, we say thank you. But I think around the Thanksgiving table, in my family anyway, because we do have family in the US and in Canada. So when we get together, even from the smallest, the youngest at the table, we say, name 3 things that you're grateful for, right? So that makes everybody around the table think. It could be for your friends at school. It could be for the fact that you got a meal on the table. But everybody goes around the table and you've got to say 3 things you're grateful for. And that process, the thinking of those things is part of the process, right? So thinking is just integral, to being grateful. So that was the first thing I wanted to say. The other thing I wanted to say was, talking about languages and how to say thank you. And quite a few languages are popping into my head. So in South Africa, you would get Dankiwer or Baya Danki in Afrikaans. Some Nigerian languages, you will get Oshe or Eshe. Other languages, you will get Wese or Uwese or Apongusa. So that's a whole long list, and there's quite a few languages in there. You'll get Dalu in some other languages, and then in the north, they've got their own. Then I go to the French side of the family, and then of course there's merci or merci beaucoup if you want to say thanks a lot. So it's just all the languages are popping in my head. I mean, my heritage is quite mixed, so we've got quite a few ways to say thank you. So I mean, Ego is just reminding me it's Nagode in the north of Nigeria. It's one of the another language in Nigeria. So there just many ways to be grateful. But I think if anything this year, it's made us think of the small things that we would have taken for granted in 2019 and before, and even January and February this year. So now we're stopping and taking a moment to be grateful for the seemingly small things. So the fact that you wake up each morning and your limbs are working and you've got your voice and you can eat and you can hold on to what you eat. You don't need any assistance doing any of that stuff. No one had to call the ambulance in the middle of the night. You didn't have to dial, and try and convey to whoever was on the other end of the line that your breathing was a problem or whatever. There's just so much that we have jobs or that we have businesses that are, growing, that are moving forward in this environment. Not many people can say that, right? Because people are being furloughed and in some instances made redundant, right? So the fact that we still have our jobs, we can afford to pay our bills, we got a roof over our heads, we got clothes on our backs, and even heading up into the holidays, we're all talking about, it's not going to be the big festive thing it usually is, but the fact that we probably still have something to put on the table is something else to be grateful for. Because I know there are quite a few families, and I'm probably, in this mindset already because I'm raising funds at work to buy stuff for a local charity, a local food bank. And I set a minimum target of £500. But as of today, just before this call, I'm on £950, right? And so on Sunday, I went shopping this is going to be the first lot of 4 shops and 4 deliveries. So on Sunday, I went shopping and I filled not just my boots, but my entire back seat. And I delivered the stuff yesterday. And the looks on the faces of the women that helped me unload my back seat and my boot were just, they were like, did you say this is shop 1 of 4? I said, yes, there's a lot more to come. And then I saw the queues of families outside the food bank waiting to come in to get care packages. And some of them had their little kids with them. And as I was offloading my boot, the number of thank yous I got from the people in the queues, I mean, children were like, Mom, see, there's even juice, like down to the things that, I just thought, well, it's on the list, I'll just buy it. The kids were doing a dance in the queue that there was juice, right? Another kid was doing a dance that there was her favorite, I don't know what it was, but she saw something, I think it was a biscuit that I got. So like I got, different types of biscuits. I just wasn't sure, what's the favorite, for people. So I got a whole range of stuff. Another kid was doing a dance because she'd seen her favorite biscuit and she was saying, Dad, do you think we can ask the ladies inside if we can get that particular biscuit in our pack? Because that's the one I like, right? So something just as small as just smiles on people's faces, right? And I was saying, here I am. I can afford to go into the shop. I can go online and order what I want. But here is a kid doing a dance that she's seen somebody donate her favorite brand of biscuits, right? So it's just, if we look hard, in fact, we don't even have to look too hard, thanks to COVID, right? But if we look, we can find so many reasons to, to be grateful for that we'll never run out of reasons to be grateful for, And so this season, it's just, I think this year, if anything, has just given us more reasons to be grateful. I mean, the fact that we're all on here, and I say this, and I don't even think we understand how important this is. We haven't lost a single person to COVID, as far as I know, on this family. I mean, all the faces we see every time we come together, we're all still here. I don't believe we've had any bad news to say any one of us is no longer with us because of COVID, right? That in itself is something big to be grateful for. And just so you know, a friend of mine's husband was going through cancer. He passed on Sunday, right? He passed, right? But I'm still grateful for that because he was loved up until the very end. He knew he was loved. I mean, we would literally be on the phone on a conference call and we'd be singing, we'd be, cracking jokes, even while he was in hospital on a ventilator. His wife would put her phone on speaker, and we would all just try and raise his spirits while he was in hospital, fighting for his life, right? So he went on, he passed, knowing that he had a group of people here that still cared for him, still loved him. And now, okay, fine, his wife is here, the kids are here. We've already planned. So everybody has a shift for the next, I don't know how long, to keep visiting, taking food, whatever. It's just round the clock. So she's not on her own. So once again, that could be my story, right? That could be somebody else's story. But here we are in a forum like this, with people like this all over the world. And I'm grateful for every single person in this family and for John for putting this together, because we could have said to him, we wanted this, but he could have decided, I don't have the time or the space or the emotional bandwidth to do this. But he said yes, and here we are months later. So, I mean, there's just so much to be grateful for, right? So thanks, bro.
Thank you. Super powerful. Reminding us to be grateful for, the little things and the things that we often can take for granted, right? And I agree that this past year has been a reminder to all of us of the things that are really important, and even in the face of death, right? Gratitude. What a powerful share there about that person that just passed, and that they were loved. And I think that's something that we would all strive to experience in our passage, right? To be surrounded by friends and family and lots of love, and to feel that. So thank you. Thanks for that share. And also just kudos to you for all the charity work that you do. Every time you speak, you mention something that you're doing to help somebody else. So God bless you. And cheers, and thank you for that.
You're
All right.
welcome. Thanks.
My friend and brother, Jamie Young. How are you, buddy?
Hi, everybody. Just quickly, that's a tough act to follow, though, Rivier. What great words. And I'm gonna probably get double up on a couple things you said. One of which, for me, what does gratitude look and feel like? It's 9 o'clock West Coast time for me, right here with everybody, and what everybody offers here, and the kind words and the thoughtfulness and the education and the values and the morals that for me seem to be connected for me in my life. And I can't speak enough about this group and the people that I've come to know and love here. It's right now it's 39. It's been popping back and forth between 39 and 40, but all 40 of you, I can't, it's huge for me. I was reading it while you were talking, EVA. I was rereading a text this morning. We had a lighthearted contest with some neighbors, some weight loss competition, and unfortunately, one of the guys got the COVID and lost 15 pounds. And said this morning on his text, he said, "There's no way I could take the first place here because of how it's happened." And his recollection of this, what he was 4 breaths away. And I'm not sure that's real, but I mean, he said he was 4 breaths away from being on a respirator. I mean, he's got some underlying conditions. He's got some trouble breathing, and to say that, to know that, and to hear that, and to have this conversation about gratitude. We don't know how lucky we are that we are here, safe, healthy, happy, contributors. I think we lose sight of that because life's busy. There's so many things that come at us in so many different ways, positive, negative, all these things that we lose sight of what we should be grateful for. And I myself am very guilty of it, where I tend to, I think we talked about this a long time ago, where you say you do something wrong and you call yourself an idiot, instead of being grateful for the fact that you had the opportunity to make that decision. I mean, it's just as simple as that for me. And I've done some volunteer work with our food bank here at VA. What you're doing is just, I can't tell you how uplifting that is for me, and how much pleasure and satisfaction I get from doing that. It's to give is that's gratitude and giving. I mean, those are connected to me immensely. And if I'm not giving, I don't feel like I'm 100%. And so I try to do that as often as I can, and nowhere near as much as I should. But anyway, I'll wrap it up and just say, gratitude to me is here. Gratitude is what it feels like is just, it's like it's sunshine. Of course, here in the Northwest, that's something we don't see a lot. But gratitude to me is like it's the sun shining every day, all the time. Can't get enough of it. Love you guys. Thanks.
Thank you, Jamie. Thanks for reminding us, man. Thanks for reminding us to just be grateful for the simplest of things: our lives, our health, our family, our friends, waking up in the morning. Thank you, man. Thanks for reminding us. All right. Julia. How are you, Julia? Nice to see you today.
Sorry, I had to unmute. Thank you, Stuart, for talking about gratitude in so many languages, and thank you in so many languages. It brought to mind our last Thanksgiving, and I wondered if I could share a picture. Could you give me the screen for just a second, if I can figure it out? Okay, I want to share this image with you. Is it sharing? Wait a minute. There we go.
I hope to be able to share. Yes.
Okay, this is the last Thanksgiving at our house last year. We had people from, I think, 9 countries. And I mean, it was all through the fact that we have an Airbnb in normal times, and we had hosted a lot of folks who were moving to Iowa City to become grad students. And it was such a joyous event for us, and we're still close friends with every one of these people. This Thanksgiving will not be the same, obviously, and I can stop sharing this if I can figure out how to stop sharing. There we go. But I wanted to share that joy, because for me, gratitude is about people more than anything. It's love. And that was the first thing that came to me when you asked what gratitude is for us. For me, it's just love. It's people. It's all of you as well. I feel so grateful to be a part of this community, like the rest of you all say, and I appreciate each of you and your stories. And I know that you're not all Americans and you don't all celebrate Thanksgiving, but I wish you a beautiful, thankful day on Thursday and every day. So thank you.
Thank you, Julia. What a great share. What an awesome photo. And yeah, you know, here in New Mexico, our governor has put in restrictions of no more than 5 people and things like that. And so, yeah, I think, you know, all across the globe, you know, people are feeling, you know, separated, disconnected, you know, and I wish that everyone has an amazing, thankful gathering with their families, whether it's in smaller groups or larger groups. And so thanks for kind of bringing the gathering aspect to the discussion. So thank you, Julia. Therese, how are you, Therese?
Hello, everyone. I have great gratitude for John, and of course for this group, and for just this year, which is such a bizarre thing to think about, considering all the challenges that we've had. Yeah, I mean, I think you might have seen, I wrote in the chat, I mean, when I feel gratitude, it's like this glowing, like brightness, like heat almost, that comes up from inside and just like bursts out my face, really. And I feel it frequently when I'm outside, out, you know, it doesn't matter where I am, if it's a leaf on the ground, if it's something dead. Yesterday, I found this beautiful, it's called the lantern plant. I'm not sure what the Latin name of it is, but as it decomposes, or its flesh dies away, there's this beautiful lace-like shell, and it's like a little pagoda. And it was just like, I just sat and did a little photo shoot with it. And I was so overwhelmed with, like, you know, awe and joy and gratitude that even existed. And the fact that I see it that way and I'm so moved by it also is profound. And I have great gratitude for that. I owe a lot of that, I think, to my father, who created like that intrigue, mystery, and curiosity for me. And so kind of pulling it back to, I mean, obviously gratitude and Thanksgiving and all that, it means so many things to me. It's a little tough this year. Last year, we were all together, except for my mother couldn't join because there was a huge snowstorm in the pass between where she is in California and where we are in Oregon. So we were separated last year due to that. And this year, the weather's great, but the COVID, looming COVID, my mom is 85 and my sister and my nephew both are high risk. So again, she's, there's a lot of tugging at the heart and feeling, that disappointment, but, like, should we just risk it? Should we, which side of this should we be on? And I guess, I've spent a couple of days kind of caught up in that. And after your talk this morning, it's like, we have gratitude. It's a one day and we feel gratitude and love, and we feel that every day, and we can share that with her every day. And so I'm going to choose to, just be filled with with gratitude for my family and for my friends, this venue, and each of you, and the opportunity to grow in such an intense personal and financial and way in 2020. So yes, I hope everyone has a really wonderful, blessed, beyond beautiful day. So thank you so much for being here for me.
Nice. Thank you, Therese. I'm like you when I'm out in nature and I feel the interconnectedness of all things, right? I feel, and I thank you for kind of drawing similarities to those experiences, because I feel like maybe that sort of pure place of gratitude is really, you know, that place of love like Julia spoke of. But when I think of that, it's not a far leap to think about just that feeling of absolute wholeness, oneness, contentedness, pure joy that connects us to all living things and everything in the universe. And even just what you said about feeling gratitude is a warm glow, right? I feel like that I totally relate to that. That's what it feels like to me, is this warm, loving glow of golden light. So thank you for sharing that. That's
Yeah.
awesome. All right, Giovanna, how nice to see you today. How are you?
Hi. Thanks for your lead share. Stuart, God, I've never said anything so scary, but I was thinking when you asked the question, what does gratitude feel like? That I really like that. And I was thinking it makes me feel generous. Because it puts me in a place of plenitude, right? So I can feel generous, and it also makes me feel more compassionate toward everybody, so that I'm coming from a place of plenitude, then I'm able to, so I'm always more generous when I'm feeling grateful. And I had a lesson about a year ago. I had a friend who would always ask me what I was grateful for when I was angry. And she was so annoying. She became the last person I'd call. And I learned, though, that when I'm angry, I can't think of anything I'm grateful for. I mean, when I'm in a good place, oh, I'm grateful for everything, everybody, all these things. And when I'm angry, I'm scraping the barrel. I'm like, I'm grateful for running water, like, and barely. So I don't know what that means, except that, there's there's subjectivity at the bottom of my feelings of being, of having plenty. That's a subjective, not an objective fact. It's a subjective feeling. And I can see that because of how it fluctuates with my other moods and whatnot. So anyway, great, thanks. And I wish Nicola's meditation was later in the week, because I feel like it takes me half the week just to wake up and start getting I'm sorry, I missed it. Anyway, I missed it. Thanks. Thank you.
Giovanna.
Recording.
Giovanna, how cool. Just thank you for stepping up, feeling the courage, and sharing. And I think all of us here are glad to see your face and hear your voice, and are grateful for your share. A couple of the things that hit me there: when you feel gratitude, you also feel generous, right? And that ties into what Jamie was just saying about this connection to giving. And it kind of immediately makes me think of this dance, right? This exchange of energy, right? Of giving and receiving. And I think of one of Ego's talks maybe a couple months back, but this, giving and receiving. And so thank you for sharing that. That's awesome. All right, Koila, how are you today, Koila?
I'm fine, Stuart. Thank you. You maybe haven't seen in the chat, but there's a whole load of folk who know people who have COVID, have had COVID, have unfortunately died from COVID, grieving about people who have been lost to COVID. So I'm really sorry for all of those people and those who are currently ill. I'm wishing you all the best, and hope that they recover. And it's just a very difficult time for people. And when it comes to gratitude, I've been through, as you know, well, and most of you will know by now, some really quite difficult times looking after folk. And I had to find a way to survive that. And one of the things that I did after delving into philosophy and thinking I just couldn't go on being depressed the way I was being grateful. And for instance, when my husband was in hospital, I would be walking to the hospital. I'd go there every day. I'd be walking to the hospital and I would make sure, and this was winter, that I would find something. There'd be a little flower or a bird or the sunrise, just something that allowed me to feel connected, that I could feel grateful for, to feel part of the wholeness of everything. And that ultimately, whatever happened, it was all right. It was all part of what's supposed to happen, part of a plan, if you like, just part of nature and how everything happens, like the Tau symbol, as we were talking about seasons the other day with Wayne, the black and white with the kind of tadpole-y thing with the eye that's a different color, that everything revolves and everything's part of everything else. And just to be grateful for the time that we're here and to make sure we enjoy our lives. I mean, there's no point in allowing ourselves to be miserable. It's very easy to do that, but it's much, much better to be happy and be grateful. So that's all I've got to say. Thanks.
That's a lot, Koila. Thank you for mentioning that, what was going on in the chat roll, and thanks for expressing condolences and wishes of health and recovery. And I know that we all together amplify those thoughts and those wishes. So thank you. Also great, another great correlation to feeling the connectedness and the wholeness and the oneness. And I would just like to say, on the one hand, I agree with what Ivie said earlier about feeling grateful for specific things, feeling gratitude for specific things. But I would also pose that when I feel in a pure state of gratitude, it's too big to pin on one thing that I'm grateful for. When I feel, let's say, that purest form of gratitude, it's this allness, it's this oneness. It's not one particular thing. It's this connectedness to everything. So thank you for bringing that up. Gail, how are you, Gail? What's up with you today?
Hi, I'm doing very well, thank you. And Stuart, I just want to say once again, thank you, thank you, thank you. It's every time you speak, it's amazing. And the things that you talk about and the love and the gratitude for today, for me, is wonderful. I am so grateful to you and to everyone here. This really and truly is a family, a huge family. And it's a place where we can come, we can talk, we can vent, we can ask for help. And there's no concern about people putting us down, or anything is possible in this group. And I'm very, very grateful for each and every one of you. I'm very grateful for my life, for my family, for the journey I've gone through in my life. And I'm thankful to God. And I have, for me, being thankful or grateful gets me right here in the heart. And it goes right through my body. And I try to share that if I can, as often as I can. So happy Thanksgiving to everyone. And thank you once again, Stuart. That's my bit.
Thank you, Gail, for your bit. And thank you for being an example of vertebral healing for me as I approach a season of entering surgery and things like that. So you're an example to me of someone who has faced that and has come out the other side. So thank you, Gail. Nicola, how are you, Nicola?
Hello, hello. Oh, I think everyone's feeling slightly emotional. So thank you, Stuart. You've just delivered such an amazing presentation today, and you can just sense the energy in the room. I can just feel how much everyone's kind of going inside their own thoughts, and to do that is just so powerful. So thank you for that. And I've probably just got one word, which I'll not go into it again because it kind of carries on from yesterday. But, you know, I've had health problems, which we all have. I've heard lots of stories, but 30 years now, I'm still trying to find answers. And gratitude is probably the one thing that has allowed me to overcome it in a sense. This physical problem is still there, but I've overcame it emotionally. And I'm getting emotional now. So the one, bloody hell, this wasn't meant to happen. The one word which comes to mind for me when we talk about gratitude is peace. Because it gives us peace of mind, regardless of what's going on physically. With gratitude, I can be thankful for the journey it's took us on and everything I've learned because of it and everything I am now because of it. So it just brings me peace. So thank you. Sorry about that.
Thank you, Nicola. You know, when you shared yesterday and you made yourself vulnerable and talked about some of the physical challenges that you're going through and how that affects mindset and attitude and emotional state and all these things, I totally relate on every level, right? And I know that when my head's in the game, when I'm feeling grateful for all the gifts and blessings in my life, when I'm feeling positive, then the physical challenges don't seem quite so hard to overcome, right? And I find that even going back to what Giovanna was saying about, you know, when you're angry, right, it's hard to be grateful for things. And I think it's really just goes back to what we were saying earlier about you know, when you're in a state of grace, when you're feeling gratitude and you're feeling thankful, it affects your self-image, it affects our self-esteem, it affects our attitude, right? And when we feel gratitude, it releases all these wonderful chemicals in our brain that make us feel good and help us overcome you know, depression or the negative self-talk, right? So I thank you for sharing that. And I almost piggybacked on top of it. And I think maybe I had a moment of feeling like, oh, I don't know if I want to share that because I was like afraid I was going to break down. So thank you. Thank you for, again, making
Being the one that breaks down.
And it was awesome. Thanks for your share. Kim, how are you, Kim? I know what you're grateful for, or at least one thing.
Oh, hi. Hi, Stuart. Hi, everybody. Yeah, I'm grateful for a lot of things. And I'm trying to put my thoughts together. So I love whoever said, be thankful is to think. And so, yeah, I'm just trying to like put all my thoughts together. But I guess the first thing that comes to mind is, for me, gratitude is a daily necessity every day. You know, we have so many things to be thankful for on a daily basis. And you know, in this crazy world that we are living in right now, you know, with COVID and people losing their jobs and in food lines and, you know, you know, we just have so much to be thankful for. I personally, you know, I have a roof over my head. I have a bed to sleep in. You know, I'm not sleeping in a shack. I'm not standing in a food line. I'm not going without food. You know, yeah, I've had my challenges, but you know what? I'm grateful. I'm grateful for every challenge in my life because it has made me who I am. And I don't know. Like I said, I'm trying to put all this together. So I'm not as good as you guys, and I don't think as deep as everybody, but I'm trying to get there. But you know, I think about prior to COVID, you know, and I was involved in some amazing, amazing ministries. We would go downtown St. Louis to people that were living in warehouses. I mean, I remember standing in a warehouse with people that like had a fire in the warehouse and were holding hands, and they're like, you know, this was where they lived. They sleeping on concrete floors, you know, but they were so grateful. You know, we would come out and they'd say, oh, the church people are here. And we'd give them blankets and, you know, and gloves and hats. And they would be like, we just love, they were so grateful, you know, and I'm thinking to myself, are you kidding me? I'm standing out here freezing my ass off. And these people are like, so grateful for the things that we're giving them. You know, I'm like, oh my God. And I have this house and this wonderful, you know, and so I don't know. I'm just rambling and I'm sorry. I'm sorry I'm rambling, but yeah, there's just so much, so very much to be grateful for. Be thankful you have a job. Be thankful you have a bed. Be thankful you have clothes on your back. You have food to eat. You know, yeah, we might not be able to be with our family. I can't be with our family because we're still in quarantine, you know. But you know what? I'm grateful. I'm grateful that I have a family. I'm grateful that I can get on the call and I can Zoom with my family and say, I love you guys. You know, it just every day, you know, every day we just need to be thankful for, even if it's just one little thing. You know, if you just get up and say, God, thank you, or you know, whoever you choose, God, universe, thank you for allowing me the breath of life to be up today. And yeah, so I'm just thankful. I'm thankful for this group. I'm thankful for the safe space. I'm thankful for you guys challenging me to think deeper. And I could go on and on and on, but I just am eternally grateful. So love you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Kim. We are grateful for you, and you are a powerful thinker. Those thoughts are powerful. And you are a deep thinker, and everything. Again, you know, I think we've all seen this in each and every one of us, right? And I remember, you know, the early days of these calls, and you know, I could barely muster up the courage to say anything, and my voice would be shaking and on there, you know, whatever. And so we've all come so far. And Kim, I'm grateful that that you and Phil are recovering and are feeling healthy. So cheers to that. All right, Elmer and Hung-san. Oh my God, I miss you guys. What's up?
Hi, everyone. Thank you for everything. I mean, I sort of joined late, but, you know, just even when I joined late, I just could feel the vibes of the gratitude and energy that everyone brings. You know, we're in the time of Thanksgiving and, you know, so grateful for the group. And Hong-san would say the same if she were here, but she's at work, thankfully. But I mean, one of the things about gratitude and just being thankful, I think that came to mind in what everyone was saying was one of the elements to be thankful and grateful is that when you're doing it, you have a clarity of perspective at the time you're doing that. And I think that's what I sort of appreciate about it, because, you know, we can be running around our day and, you know, going through, you know, a lot of different roller coasters and emotions. But in the moment that we say we're thankful or grateful, you have clarity in those moments that you are taking pause in your day, you're taking a breath in your day, and you're taking that moment for yourself to be like giving you the perspective of like, this is really what I should be thankful for. Like, I'm taking the moment to just, you know, put things into perspective and have that clarity to actually be thankful for whatever it is that you may have, big or small, you know, tiny or gigantic. I mean, it's that clarity of perspective that I think, you know, we appreciate those moments to even have them. And, you know, kudos to everyone who's grown through this group. And, you know, we've seen so much and have experienced so much and heard so much from everyone's stories that, you know, it's great because we've been gaining all this perspective from everyone, and couldn't be more grateful for everything that this year has brought, you know, because this is one of the best things that has ever happened to us and the group, Hong-san and myself. So yes, thank you.
Right, thank you. We appreciate you guys so much. We're grateful to you for all of your shares. We're grateful to Hong-san for her beautiful energy and her smile and the words that she shares when she's with us. Thanks, man, for this reminder of perspective, right? Because I totally agree with you that when we come from a place of gratitude, it's totally a perspective shift, right? It's about remembering the things that are important, right? You know, personally, but also on a grander level as well. And I think that perspective shift, you know, is almost like a state shift, in the sense that, you know, it's a magical moment, and just like you're saying, you know, to be in that moment of gratitude is really a powerful place. And that kind of reminds me of what Kim had said just a minute ago about, you know, we should be grateful every day, right? You know, it's kind of like every day is Thanksgiving, right? Not just like, oh, one day out of the year or whatever that is. So thanks, man. Appreciate it. Appreciate you. Star, how are you, Star? Happy belated birthday.
Hi, hello everybody. Sorry, I've been packing whilst I've been listening, packing up the kitchen, ready for the move on Thursday. Thank you for your belated birthday. And thank you to all of those who made it to my online party last week, which was actually really funny. Yeah, and it goes to show that even in this time of COVID and so there is a lot of aloneness, but there is also a lot of togetherness. And obviously, you know, Stuart, what beautiful, beautiful topic today, and just so poignant for so many of us. And I know you said we talk about gratitude a lot, but we need to talk about it a lot. We need to keep talking about it a lot. And it's been one of the, obviously, as many others have spoken, have been going through difficult times, and it's the plank that keeps you on your path when you get into gratitude. And it certainly was for me, getting out of this hole that I've been in. And as everybody else has said, this group is priceless, absolutely priceless. And just the support, the love is amazing that Elvie and I feel from all of you. And the gratitude, I think, you know, in a way, it takes it till when you are having a really low point for you to really tune in with it and to really let go of that complacency and perhaps, you know, when you take stuff for granted, it really makes you see things clearly. And it's been really interesting aspect of gratitude in my vision, and I've had some really, really beautiful conversations with people, that really personal conversations with work colleagues that I've never had before, never been in that space with them before. And I think it's this coming back with a sort of humbleness and a gratitude and a willingness to share as well. I've been really open in one-on-one situations with trusted colleagues about what's happened to me, which I think is unusual in a work setting. People tend to be like, it's my business. But I've already experienced quite at least 4 really meaningful exchanges where colleagues have become friends. They've sort of gone over that line of into really caring about each other and really being concerned and kind in thoughts for each other. It's been quite a transformative experience, and I'm very grateful for it. And it's, you know, sometimes you have to, is it the the night is darkest before the dawn or something. I don't know if that's the right saying, but it takes you getting to that bottom point before you can really appreciate what is in front of you and what you have at your disposal every day. So yeah, wonderful. Lots of love to you all.
Well, yeah, thank you. That was awesome. What a great share. Again, another reminder of just the power of gratitude and how it can change everything in an instant, right? And even talking about law of attraction and how, you know, then once we kind of level up and when we raise our vibration and we assume higher versions of ourselves, that then we start attracting experiences, people, circumstances, events into our lives. But then there's also the great culling, if you would, right? The shedding away of that which does not serve us, right? So
absolutely. And just, I know that we're running over, but just on that note, I've finally I've spoken to you guys about the friend who became a work colleague who was really horrid to me. And we're saying I'm having to go back and work with her, and I've finally, with the help of some trusted advisors, composed a letter to her, because after hearing nothing from her for ages, she left a bag on my doorstep with not an apology or anything even remotely. It was just half-hearted attempt at getting back in good books because we have to work together basically. So I've spent a long time composing it, and I've written what I hope to be a kind and generous letter stating how I felt, stating how I hope that she can look after her own self, because obviously if she's behaving like that, it's because it's coming from a place of, and she's not in a good way. But anyway, so that's what else I've been doing today, and really focusing. It's been so hard not to be like, you did this and you did that. And I've had to make the letter really, and thank you to Nikki for helping me compose that letter, and to my sister as well, who helped compose the letter, to be calm and generous and kind and full of gratitude.
Sorry, that's a great thing. Sometimes I feel like, you know, when you try to express yourself to somebody, especially when there's conflict, that there's such a tendency to get bogged down in the blame game or the conflict of it. And I think it's a powerful tool to express yourself in a letter like that, and it enables you to kind of rethink and really be deliberate about the words you choose and how you express yourself and things like that. So thank you, Star. Thank you. All right, we're going to close out with my friend Carl. What's up, Carl?
Hey, Stuart, nice to see you. Nice to see everybody here. And I know we're at the top of the hour, so I'll be really quick. I just wanted to thank you for sharing where you were at last year. It really made me think, because that was sort of where I was at about August. I had been diagnosed with a very rare form of cancer. And up to that point, I took it for granted. Sorry, I didn't expect this to happen, but and then throughout that whole process, I ended up losing my job as well. And I look back and it was the best thing that happened. I was grateful for that, because it gave me time to spend with my son, and also thankful that he got sick when he did, because if it had happened this year, maybe all of them. This group is just overwhelming. I know I haven't said much, I don't say much, but I'm so truly thankful for every one of you here, and just the inspiration and love that's shown. It's just, it's really transformed my life. So thank you.
Oh, thank you, Carl, man. I'm feeling you. I'm feeling you. It was a little muffled, so I didn't get to hear everything you said, but I felt everything you said, man. So thank you. Thank you for sharing, and thank you for making yourself vulnerable. And I really did. I got to say, I appreciate when folks that don't speak as often take the mic like that. So thank you, man. And again, thank you for coming from a place of gratitude, coming from a place of your truth and sharing that with us, man. Thank you. And thanks to all of you guys. All right, so we are 10 minutes after the hour. And again, I just want to express my gratitude to each and every one of you, and to our friend and mentor, John Lavenia, for providing this platform and this forum for us all to get together and be ourselves and share our thoughts, our feelings, our hopes, our dreams, all that good stuff. So God bless all of you guys, and have a wonderful day. Last couple of things, I guess we got hospitality suite in the hospitality suite. And then later this afternoon at 5 p.m. Eastern, we have corporate curios with Ivier Barnabas. And then this evening, we have another session of adventures in mindset with yours truly. So I look forward to seeing you guys again. Thanks again for joining us, and have a wonderful, wonderful day.
Thank you, and the same to you. Bye, everyone.
Bye.